Okay, so now we're going to roll through each of Melanie's specialties. And there are a few different options in there. And they all are quite good. It's really up to personal preference. So I'm going to go through the OCD one because that's my favorite for whatever reason. But um, the, the principles that we'll talk about and the objects that you'll change, there won't be anything new from the homepage. There isn't anything different from specialty page to specialty page. So you pop in there again and go ahead and select which page you wanna work through. And if you have multiple specialties and you want to keep using the same format, the first thing I would recommend doing is duplicating that page. So let's say we want to use the OCD layout for 3 of our specialties. Go ahead, hit the gear button, duplicate that page, and now you'll see a new copy of that template page has showed up down here in the not linked section. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that for my purposes so I don't forget later on the video when I put it back up. So beginning with OCD, actually I want to do adult ADHD because I like having the photo of the therapist at the top. Specialty pages are, in my opinion, the most important pages on the site, especially if you're going to be running ads, because this is where, if you run ads with me or on your own, when someone clicks on the ad, they'll be taken directly to that specialty page. So that's why it really is another introduction. Folks don't always read a website like a chapter book, so starting on homepage, each specialty, about me, FAQ, and then fill out the form. Oftentimes what we see in the data, they go to that specialty page and decide if it's a fit or not right there from that page. So we want this page to do a lot of work. I'm gonna make myself smaller again and going down here. So we've got the title. Let's keep with the new moms example. So let's say this is therapy for perinatal. For this example, to change the photo of you, again, click on this, the pencil. We could upload, or there's another photo of you that's already on the site and it's in your library. You would hit replace, select from library, and let's pretend for this this purpose, we're pretend this is you. So we'd select, we would add, and then this little circle here is your focus point. We just want to make sure that that is kind of going where we want the system to focus. That's a square. And if we wanted to make it like a keyhole again, we'd go into design, shape, and by default it's a circle, but there are a few others you could have in here. I can sometimes like do this one. So you thought that was a little small, you could go to that, and it could well, that doesn't look good. Stretch, or go ahead and fill it in with a square this time. Round that out, corner radius of 40. Let's just see if we can get that to go a little bit higher. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we settled on this shape. Free consultation, I say keep it at the top because you want someone to know that as soon as they see you, it's no obligation if that's correct for your practice. Let's say this deep purple is too intense for you and you want to change it. I'm going to edit this section with changing just one of our colors to something else in the theme. Maybe that feels right, or that orange, or maybe this softer tan. Other folks like to sometimes do really soft textured images, a little advanced, but we could go into background, image, add an image. Maybe let's browse something in stock. Hold on, they have some good brass backgrounds, yeah. I don't know if any of these are going to fit the bill, but let's say you liked, oops, my chair jumping. Let's say you liked this one. I actually think that's not bad. It makes this a little hard to read. So if we went for maybe a lighter color up here, yeah, something like that. So you can play around in there and see if there's something that you like, whether it's for more than that default color or swapping in an image. Here we go. We got that squiggle again. If you wanted to swap this with a line, you could delete, add a block, add a line, and there we go. And all these elements we've done before. So we know how to change a photo now. We know how to change a title. Reminder, we can change a color. If this orange doesn't feel right. Like this. So maybe you just want to go black. And you could put in your own stats here around perinatal, because what this section is trying to do is to identify with the reader. But let's say you want to just delete it. You want to just keep it, hey, does any of this find familiar? Keep it moving. The way to do that, you can always click and drag, highlight everything, hit delete or the trash can. And then we just want to click and drag this up. And then you'll have this dead space here, which you need to zip this up as well. I think that's pretty good. But let's say you wanted to keep that text, or you deleted it by mistake. So what you would do in that instance is up here is undo, or Control Command Z also works. And now that puts that stuff back into its space. In this example, let's pretend you have your perinatal stat you'd like to use, and you replace that. But you wanted to adjust this highlight here. The way you do that is, how do you do that? Get rid of that. Hello. And you wanted to, there we go, underline it. So it's in the highlight, kind of underline hiding. There's a few options. Do the background of the text. I sometimes like to do the under. Some folks like to do the circle. Circle's cool, but I would say use it intermittently. Sometimes people go crazy with the circle. But let's just say that underline is right for you. Now that color is a little probably too light, so click in. Orange works well here, or you can do something custom. Animation, I think, is nice because it pulls the eye there. So when it first hits the page, it is drawn across. And thickness will also make this thicker or a little bit thinner. So let's say that, okay, so I like that. Same thing here again. We have an accordion. Click edit, go in, we could rearrange. If we want to change the text here, the titles, that's what shows up top. And then also tell someone about what they're signing up for a little bit there. Here's where you introduce yourself. I'll do this a little bit different. I recommend having these, especially if there's going to be landing pages for ads, because this is the first time someone's going to encounter you. But we have that shape again. Let's say maybe it's not right for you and in your practice. So what I would do here is delete it, add a block, add an image of you. And then that same way we could upload or select from the library. This one, we have that expand. So we wanted to turn that off, maybe not be so bold. Then we could edit that like normal text and change its sizing down. Now we got into this background again. Here we have a shape in this design. So we click on it. If you want to adjust it, let's just say this is, we want something a little softer than what's the default. So we'll go to color, maybe choose that tan again. Now this has all become kind of hard to see, but it'll be easy to fix. So we would click here. Oops, let's just get the box, color. Sorry, I want to select it all. Color, like that. Or if we want to change the purple, this is a shape here. Click, edit, and then now we can change the shape. A bunch of different shapes we could use, but I think square is probably best for the text and our purposes. Going back into it, we want to make our color like that. All right, so now we just have this kind of box outlining it. Now we want to change our text because that's hard to read. Boom, boom, boom. And swap the photo because we've used that one up top. Presumably you would have more photos of you, but let's say, okay, let's say we want to use this one because I can show an example of how to change a photo. All right, so we like that photo, but what I don't like about this is, from a psychology standpoint, you never want, if there's a huge image on the page, you don't want them facing off the page. You want them facing towards your text, or where you want the reader's eye to go. So to edit an image, click in, edit pencil. Now we go into design. Oops, no. We would edit, content, edit. And then we're going to go to this little crop tool and flip. Flip it on the x-axis or the y-axis. We save. And now she's facing. Doesn't it just feel a little bit better? So it's facing it. And okay, cool. So that's one of the specialty pages. All the elements, layouts will be different, but all the elements here are the same. For this example, I'm not going to save it because we're actually in the actual template and I don't want these changes to be the same moving forward. But for your purposes, you can always hit save when you're done to save those changes. I'm just going to exit without saving. Thanks.